More than 11,000 employees worldwide over the past 3 months have been let go. 11,000, a lot of jobs. This is part of an $865 million restructuring program to pivot towards artificial intelligence services. CEO Julie Sweet announced the company will exit workers who cannot be retrained for AI roles on a compressed timeline. We're going to fire a bunch of people who can't get on board with AI quick. The consulting giant has nearly doubled its AI and data specialists to 77,000 since fiscal year of 2023 and trained over 500,000 employees in generative AI fundamentals while securing $6 billion in AI bookings. Now, big news, 11,000 jobs. That's a huge amount of jobs being cut. We do need to be very careful though, because AI has become the newest excuse for CEOs to basically clean shop. If they have overhired, if they have demolished their margins by overhiring, making bad decisions, and AI is a very good way to reduce headcount because it gives you an out, because you can fire people without saying, oh, we're in trouble. You can fire people and say, oh, we're doing this because we're restructuring for AI. We're going to be AI first. We're going to have cost efficiencies from AI. We don't need these things. So you're saying we're moving on to something better rather than, oh my God, we're in trouble. We need to fire 11,000 people. The big question I have about this is they cannot exit workers who they're going to exit workers who cannot be retrained for AI roles. Most of this is just going to be how to use generative AI. It's going to be how to prompt. Let's say that these 11,000 people were fired for this reason, which I don't think is 100% true, but let's say these 11,000 people could not be trained on how to prompt an AI. That gives me questions about their caliber in the first place. If they cannot learn basic prompting skills, and over the last couple of years, Accenture has been pushing this training, and if these 11,000 people just couldn't grasp it, that does make me worry about the caliber of those 11,000 people, because learning basic prompting, not that complex. It's primarily about communication. So this always comes back to this question of like work slop, which the Harvard Business Review was talking about last week, of people using AI and generating crap, basically. And a lot of people are doing that in the workplace, but then that opens up the question of, were those valuable works in the first place? Or were they already quite lazy and AI is just exposing that? Because now the jobs that these people were doing can be done very quickly by AI. It does make me wonder. I think it's shining a light on the fact that there are a lot of jobs in the workplace that are not very productive, that are just moving numbers around, putting together internal reports for such, and don't really move the needle. And I think AI is really making that extremely clear. And if these 11,000 people couldn't be trained on how to use AI, that makes me wonder about their general capacity, because this is not rocket science. They're not building AIs. This is just how to use artificial intelligences. But that said, I think a lot of this is just the CEOs using AI as not a scapegoat, but as a reason to reduce headcount for a business that might not be doing very well. And we have to remember that with companies like Accenture, McKinsey, various consulting companies, their demand is going to decrease. Yes, they'll be able to get bookings. So they've got 6 billion in AI bookings, so AI work. But there's going to be a lot of businesses who are now turning to AI for advisory and consultation services. Why go and hire a giant consulting company when you can get your base level consultation and advisory from the AIs directly? Now, there is one reason, which is you hire someone like McKinsey because you want to pass the buck. You pay them millions of dollars to put together basically a PowerPoint with a basic strategy, because that's a way of shifting responsibility from me as a line manager or a VP or whatever it is over to McKinsey. So they still have a purpose, but increasingly their value in the marketplace, I think, is going to be eroded, and this is at a demand level, by the existence of artificial intelligence that is trained on all the same knowledge that their consultants and their experts have. So I think that is going to be a bigger problem for Accenture. It's not going to be how to train people. It's going to be, demand for what we provide is going to be eroded by artificial intelligence. So, of course, they're all jumping on it. McKinsey put out a paper a few days ago about agentic usage. Accenture have booked 6 million in AI bookings. A lot of them are jumping onto it because they know they have to, because AI could kill them, or it could be their ticket into the next phase of our economy, and whatever Accenture and McKinsey and Boston Consulting Group, etc., will become in the future. So I think they're in an existential struggle right now. a bit like Google, a bit like a lot of companies, to be honest. We also do need to put this in context. So 11,000 jobs. I think Accenture is over 750,000 staff. Let's try. Yeah, woo, mad. So they have 780,000 staff members. So it's 0.14% of their workforce has been cut. It's still a lot of people. It's 11,000 people who do not have jobs. It's still a small amount compared to the whole, which is nearly 1 million employees, 780,000 employees. And we also need to look at, so they've secured 6 billion in AI bookings. Sounds like a lot, but what is Accenture's revenue? Accenture's revenue is, what's this? This shouldn't be hard to find. 65 billion. Okay, so 10% of their bookings are from AI. They've got game. That's awesome. So they've lost 0.14% of their workforce. Is that right? Or is it one? I've forgotten the numbers already. They've lost a small amount of their workforce to what I think is not actually AI related, but just reducing headcount, because they're probably a bit overinflated with 750,000 staff. It's mad. But they've also increased, or 10% of their revenue now comes from artificial intelligence. We'd have to put that in context of how have their revenues done over the last couple of years. Are they down overall? But it's not our job to act as analysts and to fully look at Accenture. But we just need to think about this context whenever we see these numbers, because these numbers seem big, but we need to know